Good morning, everybody. I'm kind of behind the curve here. I was on a phone call the last part of Dennis's flight there, so I got behind on everything. So I think I got everything all set up now. So I want to say good morning to Stephen Drones. Yes, you were first. Unfortunately, I wasn't live yet, and I do apologize for that. 107 Drones, good morning. Barkley, I Fix Chat. Dan, good morning. Hot Rod and Daytona, good morning. Charles Hatmaker, good morning. Jackrabbit FPV, good morning. Ben Cartwright, good morning. Let me bring in a couple of guests I've got already. Dominic from Australia, good morning, brother.
Good morning. Yes, it is morning.
I'm in good. Is it morning there yet?
Yeah, it's quarter to 1 a.m.
Oh, okay. Well, good morning then. And I'm going to bring in Mr. Dean from I almost said California. Sorry about the insult, Dean. Texas.
That was a big insult.
It was.
But I know you don't know where Mico, Texas is, so.
Well, I do know that you're from Texas, and there's no excuse for almost saying that other thing. So how you guys doing, man?
I'm doing well.
It's a balmy night, at least.
So, Dominic, there's something wrong today.
What?
You don't look like you're bundled up for the Arctic. That's.
I know.
Yeah, you're showing your tail, brother.
Yeah, no, I've got a cat that's running absolute wild at the moment. Bit hyperactive.
Yeah,
I'm not rugged up because it's 21 Celsius.
Uh-oh.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Peter.
Morning, Peter.
Morning.
Echo.
Peter, I think you need to mute your YouTube or something. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wrong button. That's a way. That's another way of doing it.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it. That's not what I meant or intended.
Obviously, you hit the wrong button.
Obviously, he'll be back, I'm sure. So anyway, Stephen Jones, yes, you were first, brother. I see that you're in the chat now. So sorry about earlier.
Is anybody I've missed in the chat? There we go.
Hello again.
Hey, now you're sounding.
Hit the right button this time.
Apparently, yeah.
So how you doing, Peter?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Yeah, doing well.
Well, I want to say good morning to you. It's not evening now.
No, you're right. It's not.
So let me get here. All right. Twinbrook Acres, good morning. Mr. Skyfly, good morning.
Right, Mr. Skyfly. Stephen Drones, anybody I've missed? William yep, hello.
So, Stephen Drones and Mr. Skyfly, I have made you guys moderators. Michael Blade, good morning. How are you today, sir? Charles Hatmaker.
Charles Hatmaker.
Yeah.
So it's a rainy Saturday here, friends. Fortunately, it's not too cold. It was only 52 degrees this morning.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, that was okay. Just a little wet. William I, good morning. So, well, I'm not sure if Dennis is coming in this morning or not, but
it's been pretty good weather here. Nice and warm today and tomorrow.
Lovely day today.
Not much rain around now, so that's all gone for a while, so it's good.
Yeah, it's foggy and drippy here this morning.
Is it?
But it's not cold.
Good morning, Dano. I'll be droned.
Dano.
Yeah, I know, brother. Same thing up here. Dan and I and a friend of mine from church, David Meadows, who I've got into flying FPV, we met up at the Rappahannock Community College yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And sad to say, they said we couldn't fly there anymore.
Oh no, they gave you the Tijuana.
Yeah, they kicked us out, and
Karens have got you.
yeah, and that's what I think, because the security guard that came out and to tell us, he come out and he was all apologetic and everything, and and we didn't give him any hassle. He was just doing his job, and he had actually had the goggles on and seen a drone flight a couple of weeks ago, about 2 months ago, I guess it was. So he was, he was all good with it. And then all of a sudden he got a call from his boss saying, hey, they can't fly there anymore.
Mm.
And so we don't understand, but we said, hey, no problem. We'll pack up and we'll take off. And we drove up here to my church where I usually fly, and we flew a few packs and had a good time anyway.
That's
So
right.
yeah, it does, Mike. It does stink, but you know what? What can you do? Doesn't do any good to get all in an uproar about it.
Yeah.
And,
Have you been flying into their windows again, Rodney? That'll do it.
yeah, I know, but what can I say?
Yeah. Oh.
We did have a blast yesterday, yes, sir, Dan. So Dan, by the way, has gone digital on his FPV drone.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Love that digital drone. And I got a new drone. I don't have it here in the house with me yet, but I got a little high definition HD whoop. So it had its maiden flight, and I'll probably be putting the video up with that later today. That's true, Michael. I guess it does kind of happen quite a bit nowadays, but we'd been going there every Saturday throughout the whole summer and well into the fall, and only one time did anybody really complain about it to us, and even then they weren't really complaining. It was some person that was sitting at one of their little areas there. They had some benches, and a drone flew over her, and she got all up, put her hands on her hips and stuff. But nobody said anything for us for weeks until yesterday. But you know what? I don't have any hard feelings. Hey, Joe Blaylock, good morning.
Hello.
So I don't harbor any bad feelings, So we'll find another place to fly, I'm sure.
You got to be something else around there.
Oh,
Matt Bagwell.
Yeah.
Matt Bagwell, good morning.
Changing the subject a little bit, I wonder if anybody out there's heard from Susan Lee lately. She gets on nearly all the live streams, and she comments on most of my videos. She loves my Critter Cam videos, and over 150 videos. She's never missed commenting on one of them until this week. She's missed about 6 of them already.
Who's that?
Susan Lee.
Oh, yeah.
I just wondered if anybody knew what was going on with her. I know she hasn't been in the best of health.
Well, the last I heard from her, she said she was doing a little better, and she's just trying to get, better. Oh, she was, okay. 107 Drones said that she was hospitalized after a fall.
Okay, because I sure wondered, because she's been so faithful about commenting on the Critter Cam videos. I'm glad somebody knows what happened to her, because I was afraid something did.
Yeah, I know she's quit watching our sunrise live streams, and she explained to me why, that she just wasn't, she wasn't feeling well and having a hard time sleeping and stuff. And so, please put Susan on your prayer list. In fact, there is a link, and let me recover that link. that she's got there's a GoFundMe page for her, and I want to share that because she's such a nice person, and like you said, she has supported a lot of different channels, and she was on our Saturday morning and Sunday morning sunrises a lot, and she was in the chats on Saturday morning coffee with Rodney and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
I'm gonna put this link in the chat. Yeah, I know she's in need of transportation, and that's what this link is for. So, let's show her some love and hope she gets better and gets back to supporting our channels like she does. I mean, she almost always comments on my videos. So
Yeah. Well, I knew something must have happened because she just all of a sudden quit on those critter cam videos, and she loves those. Like I
Yeah.
say, out of 150 or so, she never missed a one until this week.
That's right, Michael. She is such a great supporter.
Hey, Tomas.
Tomas.
Morning,
Good
Yeah,
evening.
Tomas.
It must be evening in Ireland now,
It's
or he doesn't realize it's actually morning there now. Sorry, Tomas. Doesn't mean to embarrass you, buddy.
it'd be good afternoon actually, because I think it'd be nearly 2 o'clock over there.
Yeah, I know it's in the afternoon there. Hey,
Hey,
Dennis.
Hey,
Hi, Dennis.
how we doing? Hi there. Looking for my station identification device. There we
Oh,
go.
all right. So,
How is everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Very good. Very good.
Great.
doing good.
Great.
I'm sorry, Dennis. I missed the last of your live stream. 'Cause
Oh, that's
I was on the
fine.
phone. I was on the phone, so.
Yeah, all the songs were dedicated to you, so your loss.
I know better than that.
Well, maybe one of them was. Maybe.
Maybe. So let's see here. Dennis, next time you go to the beach in Australia,
That's I think I've got the medium lens on at the moment. Haven't got the big one on it.
Yeah.
Jerry Bauer, good morning.
Yeah, that camera looks like it could do some serious close-ups.
I don't think that camera has moved from that spot in a year.
It's been more than a year, I think. It hasn't moved in a long time.
Well, maybe it can do an extreme close-up of a wall.
It could do that, yep. No, that hasn't been used in a long time, that one. It's so old it doesn't even take videos. That's how old it is.
Good morning, Ronnie.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even an option? Not even a poor quality video?
No,
Wow.
it's still only. Yeah, got that in 2006. Got that camera.
But it's digital, right? Not a film camera.
Digital, yeah. Yeah, it was one of the top of the line Canon ones in its day. Cost a fortune, but so it was only 8 megapixel too, which was a big thing back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Still takes great photos though, with the good lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bought a decent camera when we went to Alaska. It's a Canon T7i.
Okay.
And I used it on that trip and have hardly used it since. So.
See where Dan's mind's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it out of the gutter.
So what camera did you get, Thomas? Camera.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Okay.
No,
Thanks for the warning, Rodney.
Yeah, well, No,
That was quick.
that was quick.
Well, I had to take care of something first.
Get rid of Dennis. Yeah.
Now I'll be right back. Don't you say a word, Dennis.
Good to know.
Okay.
Now we can talk
We'll
about it.
just talk amongst ourselves while
That's right.
Rodney's away.
Oh, golly.
Yep.
Tired today for some reason.
You've only just woken up, haven't you, Dennis?
Say that again?
You've only just woken up?
Yeah, only about 5 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
4
Yeah,
a.m.
Rodney's listening. Put it in chat there.
There we go again.
That's
Dennis
my
is-
early comment to the fact that Rodney's listening.
Yeah.
Fix that.
So the cuckoo's 3 minutes early.
Yep, as usual.
Yeah. Well, next time it should be about on time. So
Okay, that's good.
Good.
I do look better than I did a couple of weeks ago. That's for darn sure.
That's
But,
good.
I feel better too, but I still have this lingering cold.
Mm. Well, it being cold over there wouldn't help.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the original catalyst.
Mm.
Yeah, Thomas got himself a Fujifilm camera.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah.
They make nice stuff.
I know.
I have a
I know.
niece.
I was saying I
Who lives-
don't know a lot about them, but they've got a pretty good reputation, so
Mm.
Yeah.
can't go too wrong.
I have a niece who lives half her time in Shanghai and the other half in Tokyo, and she works for Fuji.
Okay.
That's good.
Expect to see some photos from it then, Thomas, and
Yep.
videos.
Yeah.
So, Dean, what sort of critters are you getting on your camera these days? I must admit I haven't watched any of those videos for a little while. I must get back to watching them.
We have a family of 4 gray foxes that come every night, and then we used to have a family of 6 raccoons. There was 2 adults and 4 little
Yeah.
ones, but something happened to 2 of them sometime back, and there'd been only been the 2 adults and the 2 babies. And
Yeah.
lately, one of the adults has been missing, so I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But those foxes are really fun to watch. I don't know if you know anything about gray foxes, but they're kind of cat-like compared to the red foxes. They're smaller and longer bodied, but they
Okay.
can actually climb trees.
All right.
But they're really funny to watch. They had 2 little ones earlier in the spring, and so we've kind of got to watch them grow up from little bitty. They're almost as big as the adults now.
Right.
Oh, nice. So do they climb straight up or do they need an angular limb?
I think they can climb straight up. They're like
Wow.
I say, they're kind of cat-like, and they have some
Yeah.
pretty good claws on them.
Yeah.
But I know they can climb up in trees. Well,
Interesting.
we have a small well house with a little roof on it. It's about I guess the peak of the roof is about 6 feet off the ground. And I went out there one morning early to pick up my camera, and there was one of them out there, and he ran and jumped on top of that well house and was watching me. They've gotten so they're not really very much afraid of us. One morning one afternoon when it was pretty hot, we were going out to set up the camera, and the female had been sitting in the shade. We didn't know about it, and she ran over and sat by the bowls where we put the stuff out, like where's my food? And we got it within 15 feet of her before she ran off.
Wow. That's really close for a fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're really fun to watch. the antics of them, especially
Yeah.
the raccoons. When you're watching those, it's like watching a 3-ring circus. We have a big water bowl out there. They'll go grab
Right.
some food and they'll jump in the water bowl and clean it. And 2 or 3 of them will try to get in the water bowl at the same time. And it's really funny watching them. But like I say, Susan loved those, and she always commented on all of them. So that's why I was wondering what happened to her. 'Cause all of a sudden the comments just quit. But I'm glad I'm glad I know what happened to her now.
Mm.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to cut out. I've got some things I got to do this morning. I just wanted to get on a little while to see if anybody knew what happened to Susan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
see you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great to see you, Dean. Bye-bye
Dean.
now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't know what happened to Susan, by the way. I missed that. So
I
No idea.
thought I saw her in Tammy Jean's stream. I might be mistaken, but I thought I did.
Someone in the stream earlier said that she had a fall and was hospitalised for a bit.
oh my, she sure
Yeah,
doesn't
so
need that. She's has enough medical problems.
So hope she's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott had some of his chickens wiped out by the fox.
He's back.
I'm back. I want to say good morning to Matt Bagwell, Akira Show, Brad Alston, King Stephen UGD.
Mm.
And
Hello,
let's see.
everybody.
I think that's
Mr. Skyfly.
Yes. Hello, Joel.
Mr. Skyfly is already a moderator, so that must represent a channel change.
Mm.
No, I just made him a moderator this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen him on many streams, so he's
Yeah,
That's
I've
good.
seen him on a few too. So, but anyway, I'm going to put the link to the stream
uh
in the chats.
oh.
We can accommodate 1 or 2 more people if anybody cares to join. You never know what you get when I do this, but
Yeah. You get some really strange characters coming in.
yeah, I don't think you were yet watching Saturday Morning Coffee, but one time I had this guy, Dennis Lovelady, popped in, and I made the mistake of putting him in, and it was a disaster.
Yeah.
The wrong Dennis Lovelady, by the way.
Yeah.
Whoever this guy was, it was impersonating Dennis, so it was well executed, but
Okay.
it was wrong. It was wrong, regardless of how well it was executed.
So speaking of remote ID, William I is asking what is it? It is basically a technology that broadcasts information that can identify your remote controller, basically. But it also, the political aspect of it is that it apparently also identifies more about you than just that. But the concept is that if somebody's doing something with a drone and it's not within the confines of the law.
Hello from the beach.
Hey, Rod. Then
I thought I would show you what I'm looking at this morning.
Ah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Well, I pity you. I'm sorry you have to put up with that, but
Yeah.
Now you know why I'm sitting at the beach.
there you go. I can't blame you. So if your drone happens to be something that's outside of the law, the idea is that you can be identified and brought down one way or another. And yeah, that's the concept. It has a few supporters and a whole bunch of people that don't like the idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that only affects anything over 250 grams.
Okay.
Well, it affects anything, but they don't plan to put it on drones that are under 250 grams, right? So if it's on your remote controller, and your remote control happens to be controlling a drone that's under 250,
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah.
right? So it gets to be a lot of gray area, a whole lot
Yeah.
of gray area.
It sure
Yeah, there is
does.
a gray
because of
area.
that. And,
Good morning,
and,
Chris.
and it's
Hope.
always the gray area that scares people, right? So
Yeah.
there you go.
Alex,
It's always
Alex
that.
Escardo, good morning.
So Rodney, you were saying your story about the lady this morning. So I was flying my Avata up and down the beach, and the kids were waving at it as I was going by. They were kind of having a kick as the thing was buzzing by.
Oh, the drone.
Yeah, the drone.
Well, I think in my experience that the people that I've had come up to me have all been actually pretty excited about it.
Hi, Chris.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
the typical
find that
response.
true.
Oh, cool. Is that a drone?
Yeah, I
that's
find
a
that
big-
true. More than 2 years ago, that wasn't really the case. Now it seems to be a lot
Right.
more the case. I see seem to see a lot more tolerance.
Hey.
Hey,
It's
Scott,
not a drone. It's the world's biggest mosquito.
I owe Scott an apology, guys. I told him I was going to send him a link, and I forgot.
That's all right.
I
Don't
got
worry
on that phone call and forgot all about it, brother.
Don't
Scott's a forgiving guy, Rodney.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
glad. I'm glad he is. I really am.
You probably got one more. Never mind.
Well, one more mistake, and then I'm done.
One more
right?
mistake, and then you're out. That's
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah. 3 strikes and you're
Well,
out.
I'll have to mind my P's and Q's then.
How are you, Scott?
Oh, doing great. How about you?
I'm
Dennis?
good, thanks. I think what really happens, Rodney, is you have one more try, and then he'll make the list bigger.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Good morning, Bob Casey, Ariel.
Kenny.
That's the way
I'll
it is
just
with
leave
most
you with the
drones.
view, Rodney.
That's what?
Leave us with a view,
Oh,
so we can feel sorry for poor Hot Rod in Daytona.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, poor guy.
And he's there in a T-shirt.
Yeah, I saw that.
It must be cold there.
Of course, when it's 35 degrees, my neighbor Amos will be out in a T-shirt, and that's no joke. Man, what are you talking about? I'm still sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like 74-ish today. Comfortable.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, it was kind of warm yesterday. It could have been warmer, but it wasn't too bad. At least it wasn't humid. That was the important thing.
I will say the sunrise was a little ugly because there was nothing but clouds. It was after the sun come up, sort of burned it off. Then it started looking a lot better. So the actual sunrise was kind of one of those meh.
Good morning, place it here, Ken.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ken.
Actually, is Ken up in Minnesota still?
Yes. He showed me his truck is full of snow right now.
Oh my.
He and I got to go flying when he comes
Florida
back.
boy doesn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, he and I got to go flying when he gets back. Got to take him up to the top of the parking garage and go fly off of there again.
Yeah, I imagine Ken's weather's not quite like yours, Rod.
You know, I spent 10 years in Fargo, North Dakota from 2004 to 2014. So I paid my dues to live down here in Florida.
Mm.
He's still in Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
I just tell everybody Fargo, even though I was in Moorhead, which is on the other side of the river. Nobody knows where Moorhead, Minnesota is. They all know where Fargo is.
Right.
And that's only because it was in a movie.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. Great
You know
movie,
the
too.
funny part about that one, Rodney? The movie wasn't shot in Fargo. It was shot in South Dakota and parts of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, close enough.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Yeah.
Very so. You know, the movie True Grit,
Oh,
They
yeah,
all-
John Wayne.
that they always talk about, the Indian Nation in there. And the film was, instead of being filmed in Oklahoma where the Indian Nation is, they filmed it in Oregon.
Hmm.
And I told my wife one day, we was watching it, I said, while we do have some pine trees, we don't have that kind of mountainous area that they do in Oregon. But anyway, that's me. So I was telling you guys to change the subject. I got a new drone.
Yay.
Cool.
Okay.
And it's an iFlight A75, and it's HD. It's got the Caddx Vista in it,
Oh,
and
great.
it's really nice.
I like
So-
those smaller drones.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure I was going to like this one because, like, my first 3 attempts to take off, it was just like, and I just wasn't used to the power that it had.
Yeah, I tried FPV for a little while, and my first 3 flights were like that too. The next 30 were also like that. So I said,
Oh,
maybe
well,
someone else would like to have this.
I may join you, Rodney, on the true FPV. Now that they got the O3 air units out, which work with the goggles from the Avata.
yeah.
So
And
as soon as there's a bind and fly with that O3, I have the Radio Master Zorro radio that I got a long time ago that I was going to use for the Sims on my computer, and I've played with it a little bit, but I'm sort of waiting for the new. Now that I know these goggles work, I want something that is going to work with those particular goggles because I know I could see.
Yeah. Well, the O3 will work with the V2
Right.
goggles too.
Right.
So,
With the latest firmware update that they released about 2 weeks ago, yes. Or when the O3 came out, they released a firmware so that the goggles too work with that air unit. I don't know whether they made it compatible with the Caddx Vista as well, but I'd rather have the O3 because, well, I know what it's like because that's basically what the Avata is the O3.
yeah. I want to say good morning to Unlimited Vertical, and yeah, I know that
Chris.
when I first started it, my attempts were really shaky too. So, Sunrise Water Media, Chris. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Morning.
And Rodney, you really need to get one of the Avatas.
No,
Yeah.
I don't need one. I'm
You'd
having,
have a freaking ball with it, I'm telling you.
oh well, maybe that's true. But
It's a blast flying at 12 inches off the ground at 30 mile an hour, flying around objects. It's just hard to beat.
yeah, I know. So, but I just don't. I can build a drone that does just as well.
Sure.
I won't have the GPS portion of it, but I like the freestyle anyway. So I'm good the way I am. Now I will say if I was going to be using drones in a business like doing wedding videography or something like that, then yeah, I would consider getting an Avata. But since I have no plans to ever go into commercial business with it, I really
You're all analog though, right?
No, I use all of mine are HD Caddx Vista.
Got it.
And when I get ready to build my next drone, it'll be an O3.
Yeah. You have which goggles are you using then?
Hey, he's back.
The DJI V2.
Oh, the FPV V2. Got it. Yeah. You should get the goggles too. I'm telling you, the OLED screens for a blind guy like me to be able to use those goggles with no glasses and no issues. Yeah. Plus the diopters are in that thing. If you need to adjust it, works great.
I might later on, but not right now. I got bills I need to pay off so I can retire. So I can devote all my
Yeah,
What is
I priced
O3?
it. It's
Is
going to
that-
cost about. I priced it.
I'm sorry, Dennis. Hang on again. Hey guys, we're stepping on each other here. Dennis, what were you saying?
Then what's O3? Is that oxygen?
It's the new DJI HD for FPV.
Oh, okay.
You know what a Caddx Vista is, right?
I do. Caddx is a company, and Caddx Vista is a technology, I believe.
Yeah, and they were licensed by DJI to make HD devices based on DJI's FPV system.
Got it. Thanks.
And so the 03 is the newest DJI FPV system. So it's upgraded they upgraded the goggles. I think is what 1080p in the goggles and 4K recording on the Vista itself on the.
Yeah, it's 1080 in the goggles.
1080 in the goggles, 4K up to 4K, 50 frames per second. I think in the unit itself with an SD card.
So that'd be the interesting thing for you, Rodney. That camera, because it's the same camera that's on the Avata, you won't need a GoPro anymore. Seriously, that camera freaking rocks.
Oh yeah, I've seen the videos from it, so yeah, I understand completely.
And to make your drones lighter and well more maneuverable without the freaking GoPro on top.
Oh yeah. But I don't use a GoPro on top anyway. I use a Runcam Orange.
Well, anything sticking up there is still interfering with the airflow.
Well, yeah, but it seems
a little
to overcome it. It seems to overcome all right, though.
Yeah.
Ken says the Avata is really loud.
Not compared to a regular FPV drone. It is loud compared to a camera drone, but not for an FPV drone.
Joe Blaylock has an idea. Emax Tiny Hawk. I have one of those too. In fact, it is right here.
Actually, I have
the Tiny Hawk that I won at Spin Up last year. I ended up giving to my friend David Meadows, and he's loving FPV flying. So this is my Tiny Hawk. I loved it so much I had to buy another one. And then
Rodney, I have the Tiny Hawk 3, but the box goggles that came with that thing, I can't see crap. Yeah, I'm just like blind in that thing. So that's why I'm kind of excited with the 03.
Yeah, you're right. Those goggles aren't the best, and since I see pretty good even with those goggles without my glasses, I mean it was good for me. You know, I didn't use them that much. I used them one time, I think, and then I went and bought another set of goggles that you could record from that had the DVR built into it, because you can't record off those goggles that come with the Baby Hawk like that.
Yeah. So I'll just wait for Buy to Fly that has the 03 and ELRS, because that's the module that I ordered with the Zorro.
Oh, okay.
Was the ELRS version, since that's supposed to be the range version.
William, the Tiny Hawk, it depends on which version of the Tiny Hawk you want to buy. If you buy like the Tiny Hawk 2 Freestyle, like what I have here with the, I think it runs like $139, I think. I can check real quick.
It's emax.com, right?
Yeah, I think that Tiny Hawk 3 that I got total was about $300, $279 or something like that.
And that's the whole kit?
Yeah, that's the whole kit.
Yeah, Get FPV has the Tiny Hawk 3 FPV kit for $298.99. And
yeah, that sounds about right.
And that's the goggle, and that's with the goggles that you can actually record from. So
interesting. So they've got an upgraded version.
Yeah, they've and the controller looks pretty nice too.
Maybe it was $300 because I ordered extra batteries from Race Day Quads.
So
and a charger and a couple other things with it. Yeah.
Now, Race Day Quads actually has the kit for $239.99 or $240.
I could drive over to those guys. They're over in Orlando. They're only like 45 minutes from me.
Yeah,
45 minutes to an hour.
Didn't get FPV in no, I think they're in Tampa. I want to say they're in Tampa.
Which
But
one?
Get FPV.
Oh, yeah. They're over in Tampa. You're correct. Yeah, Race Day Quads is sort of northern Orlando, north of downtown Orlando. A little.
So, William H., if you can get the Emax Ready to Fly Tiny Hawk 2 Freestyle. Again, this is with the cheaper goggles that doesn't do any recording. It's $229, well, $230, and it's a good starter kit. I'll be honest with you, it's a good starter kit. But if you want to get videos, then you're going to need a different set of goggles.
Mm-hmm.
But,
And hopefully you have good eyes.
yeah.
The worse your eyes are, the worse those cheaper goggles are going to be for you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, LCD versus OLED in the DJI goggles too. Freaking night and day difference.
Oh yeah, I imagine so.
I mean, go back and look at LCD TVs, and as soon as we got the OLED TVs, how the difference was between them.
Oh man, I walked into Best Buy one day and walked up to one of the TVs, and I'm like, man, that looks so real. It looked like true to life, you know. It didn't look like it was coming off a TV. So, yeah, that OLEDs looks nice.
Yeah, the biggest joke running right now on TVs is 8K. So I have a home theater and with a projection system, and 8K, you can't actually see the difference between 4K and 8K until you get to about 120 inches.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're putting 8K on these TVs in a size that would make no difference to your eyeball, being able to actually see it, it's sort of like when they all came out with the 3D TVs, right? And it's like every time they've tried to push 3D content, it's always been a fad. And, well, it was again.
So I'm going to say good morning to I Picked My Butt. Haven't seen you in a while, bud. Welcome back. So
I'm glad you're feeling better, Dennis.
Thank you.
You definitely look better.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks. It's good to be coming back.
yeah,
You don't look as miserable. You definitely look miserable.
It was,
yeah, I talked to him like, I don't know, a couple of days after he'd gotten back from Australia and kept down with it, and it was hard for him to talk.
yeah.
Now you know why I'm glad I don't fly around anymore. I'm literally like, I don't know, 55,000 miles from 1 million miles on Delta. And, you know, after the whole pandemic thing, I was just like, I'm glad to not be on airplanes or going through airports. You go by so many people, that's the one place you're going to pick something up is going through an airport.
Understand. But I was built to travel. That's what I love.
Once in a while is fine. Every week wears on the body. I did it for 20 years.
Yeah, I only did it for 12. So
Hey,
Hey,
man,
Dennis,
you have a good day, brother.
see you, man.
Dennis, did you have to wear masks on the plane? Or have they stopped that now?
I did. Did I have to? I think they required it on the flight to Australia, but coming back from Australia, I think was optional.
Right, okay.
Did you do the LA to Australia leg?
I did.
Yeah.
So that's a 15-hour flight out and a 13-hour back.
Yeah, it's 15 to Sydney and like 16 to Melbourne. I've done it twice.
Yep. You got to go to Sydney first before you get to Brisbane. That was because it's another hour or so from Sydney to Melbourne or Brisbane.
So do all international flights have to come in through Sydney?
It generally goes that way.
We get,
Or
we get a,
Melbourne.
Rarely, but it does seem to go that way.
Melbourne
we-
has an
we get-
international airport.
we
and if
get
I'm
a
not
lot.
mistaken, I think Brisbane also has an international airport.
We've got a new flight from San Francisco to Melbourne. That's a new United flight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
there's
sure
plenty-
everybody
plenty of
from
big-
Asia goes on to the west side.
Yeah, you've got to go. Either the Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and that brings you. And then if you want to go to an Adelaide or a Perth, you seemingly have to stop in Melbourne, Sydney, or Queensland first. You start on the east coast to make your way west.
Yeah.
It just seems to be
for
that
me,
way.
Leaving here from Atlanta, it was approximately 24 hours duration, clock time from the time I left Atlanta until the time I landed in Sydney.
Yeah.
There was somebody on those two planes. But the reason for that is it's 4.5 hours about from here to Los Angeles. Then there was a several-hour layover, and then that 15-hour flight from Los Angeles to Sydney. There was somebody on the plane with me who started out in Greenville, South Carolina, right? So they started, and it was a couple with 4 children that were all under 10.
Oh boy.
So
Yeah, you can try doing Atlanta to India somewhere. That's a 29 to 30 hour flight.
Wow.
Over there. I almost had to do that flight.
To Greenville was an hour for them, and then they had a 2-hour layover, and then they had that other 24 hours that I had, and they were going from Sydney to Adelaide. And after they got to Adelaide, it was going to be a 1-hour bus ride to where it was they were really going. So, and that's a family of 6 with kids that are all under 10.
Yeah.
Well, another one for you is from Melbourne to London Heathrow. It's nearly 24 hours.
Is that right? Direct flight. Wow.
But it isn't
You're not direct. I think you're going to
direct,
stop over in Dubai.
yeah, quite often they'll stop off in either Singapore or Dubai.
Yeah, Singapore or Dubai, depending on. It depends.
Yeah, they've
on,
only gotten longer with the 787
Yeah.
long
But it also
range coming
depends
out.
on what airline
Yeah.
you're flying.
Those
If you're
were
flying Singapore Airlines, it'll go Melbourne, Singapore to Heathrow.
Yeah.
those were
The nice part-
787s that I
Emirates pushes you towards Dubai.
Yeah, the nice part about the 787 is because it's made of not aircraft aluminum, but anyways, they can pressurize it to 6,000 feet, so you don't get as much jet lag.
Yeah.
A normal plane they
also
pressurize
go
to like 8,000 feet or something like that. Anyways,
Yeah.
so it's there's more moisture in the air in the cabin too on those. So those are actually supposed to be more comfortable to fly in.
Yeah.
Well, it depends, because more moisture to me means it's colder. And I just felt completely cold all the way there.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd rather have jet lag. You're going to have it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time I've ever flown from overseas is when I left Japan in 75. And that was such a miserable flight. It was on a 747, biggest jet of the, they hadn't been out very long, biggest jet in the world, right? And we were packed in there like sardines. And of course, this was back when you had the smoking section, and I smoked.
Hey.
So I was in the smoking section, and I couldn't sleep. It was like 13-hour flight, and the worst part about the whole flight was I had to start the 7th of August over again.
Yeah.
I left at 3:10 on the 7th of August. I left Tokyo International Airport. Got into San Francisco at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 7th of August.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the time
Dennis,
difference is almost
Dennis had
canceled.
that effect for on the way back, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
that's
And then
right.
you get double.
Take off and land on the same day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because the time difference is basically nearly 15 hours.
Well, yeah,
And the
plus,
flight is nearly 15 hours. So the time difference cancels out
Right.
the
So
actual
what was
flight
weird to
time.
me was I left here on November the 1st and I landed in Sydney on November the 3rd.
Yeah. You're going the other way.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, you
on,
got that.
on the way back, you got into LA before you left Sydney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always weird on those flights where you're going from east to west and you land before you took off. You know, do
Right.
Atlanta to Dallas or something like that.
Yeah. Especially when you're crossing time zones. I had the same thing happen when I went from Melbourne to Perth. When I went from Melbourne, because I went back this time a couple of years ago, and there's a 3-hour time difference between Melbourne and Perth. So when I went there, it only showed on my watch as an hour and 45 minutes, even though it was 4 hours 45 minutes. But on the way back, it was 7 hours and 45 minutes on my clock, but it's still the same. It's still the same time going and coming. But
Right.
when you take into account the time difference, one is shorter than the other, but they are the same distance. That was strange.
Akita Show says he
Says
thought the Earth was
Earth
flat.
It is.
You know, one of the crazy things I've been thinking about is, you know, since I'm down here by NASA and SpaceX and all that stuff, right? You know, pretty soon we're going to have people on the moon. So what time is it on the moon? And then we're going to have people on Mars. I think we're going to have to come out with the Star Trek star date.
Yeah.
Because time on planet Earth isn't going to mean much when you're on Mars.
So Akita Show, it actually is flat, but those guys flying the planes, they're flying FPV and the camera is curved. So it looks like it's round. That's my story and I'm sticking to it right now. I don't care if you like it or not.
All right. You disappoint me, but all right. I'll live with it.
Yeah.
Flat. The Earth isn't flat, it's square.
Yeah.
Although, Rodney, I'd say the worst has got to be the Navy and the submariners, where you're like underwater for like 6 months. It's like, okay, what time is it? Because it's the same time every, right?
Well, no, they pass time zones too.
They go into time zones too.
Yeah.
But they just
Do
don't.
they dim the lights?
They do.
Got it. Yeah, I was gonna say they have to do something to kind of keep the body in sync.
Yeah. You have to, keep the circadian rhythm.
Brad, I don't
Austin
remember
is-
if I said good morning to you or not, but good morning. I'm glad you made it to
Good
Phoenix
morning
okay.
again, anyway.
Red Alston is volunteering.
Yeah,
I
he
think
said
it'd be
he's ready to
interesting.
live on Mars. What?
I think it'd be interesting to live on Mars because they got 2 moons. We've only got 1.
Just remember, it's not the place to raise your kids, Brad.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, anybody know what the rotation time is on Mars versus like Earth? Ours is 24 hours.
It's just a few minutes shorter, I think.
Oh, is it shorter? Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking it was rotating a bit faster.
I think it's only a couple of minutes short.
Let's
So I think
find
it's about, or I'm trying to think, it's either a couple of minutes short or a couple of minutes more, but it's not much difference.
Actually, according to the Royal Museums in Greenwich, Mars is a planet with a similar daily cycle to the Earth. Its sidereal day is 24 hours, 37 minutes, and 20 seconds.
So it's a couple of minutes more.
And
But
its
that's a
solar
sidereal
day
day
is
and its
24
solar-
hours and 39 minutes and 35 seconds.
and its year is 687 days. So
That's right. Yeah.
pretty much nearly 1.8, 1.9 to our.
And it's 141.6 million miles from the sun.
Yeah. It takes a while for us to get that extra 50.
Which is why they're working on nuclear-powered rockets.
Yeah.
so that we
that's
could
what we
get there
need.
in weeks instead of like 9 months.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
we basically have to wait for the two planets to line up to be able to move to it.
Which should happen at that rate. It should happen about once every 10 months or so, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if the
That's why
user,
they go ahead.
I was going to say, if the user are a lot longer, you wouldn't live as long.
Mm.
Yeah, you'd be younger.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as many birthdays. So.
Yeah, that's good.
Speaking of,
Well, it's like everybody born on February 29th, right?
Yeah, every 4 years. Yeah.
At a certain age, you kind of wish you were born on February 29th.
Yeah.
yeah.
At a certain age, huh?
So everybody that had a birthday this past week and got one coming up, happy birthday.
Mine was 2 days before Thanksgiving.
I would be a teenager.
Happy birthday then, Rod.
Yeah.
Don't
Happy
be late.
birthday, Rodney. Hot Rod Rodney.
Mm. Yeah. You'd actually get something done with 687 days in a year.
Think
That
of all
extra
the
37
interruptions you
minutes
could
would
come
be
up with,
useful.
though, in a 600-day year.
Yeah. It'd be
So
useful.
I wonder if we'll be required to have remote ID to fly drones on Mars.
Yeah.
Have a good day. I pick my butt.
Will the FAA actually control the airspace on Mars?
Oh, they'll find some way of
There's a
doing it.
question for you to ponder.
Yeah.
Whoever plants the first flag, I think that's the one.
Yeah.
Well, they already got that one drone up there, right? It's been flying. That one helicopter drone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have they landed on it?
Yeah, they took it up with that last Martian trip that they did. The last rover had the helicopter drone with it. They've been doing multiple flights with the thing.
No, I haven't kept up with the space program at all.
Opportunity, I think the name of it
Columbia,
was.
I guess.
Mr. Skyfly says he'd love to visit Mars, but he'd have to be able to come back for his Doritos.
Yeah, but you just take some with you.
Well, they make those shuttles that you can carry a lot of Doritos on those shuttles.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't make
I have a friend who lives out on Maui, and he's like, if they don't have it in the stores, when you order it, it's going to take, you go to Lowe's or Home Depot or something. I don't know. There was a paint that he was looking for. Took him like 6 months to get to get it out there. Can you imagine being on Mars? Hey, I'm out of blah, blah, blah. Oh, we'll get it to you in 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, Alaska's that way.
I wonder if Amazon will come up with 2-day delivery for Mars.
Yeah. Definitely. I think the first photo they'll take of Mars is you'll see the golden arches up there.
William I says, they don't have Walmart on Mars?
Cancel my flight.
I'm not going. No Walmart.
There's not an Applebee's.
It's all beach, no water.
Yeah.
There's no Walmarts in Australia either.
No, none here.
No.
But Australia has Kmart.
Yes.
We do, yes. Yeah, there are a few of those still left, I believe.
You have Woolworth also, but that's not. It's a grocery store, right?
Yeah, Woolworths is a grocery store. Yep. Kmart actually took Target over, so you won't see too many Targets here.
The Martian Federal Aviation Administration.
I missed the gist of the conversation between Joe and Place It Here. This is what Place It Here said.
Oh, he must. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Twin Tinderbrook actually says, William, I know, but there is a Dollar General. That I can believe.
Well, you can guarantee there's a Starbucks
Yeah.
every 2 miles.
Anyways, Rodney, I think I'm going to jump off of here and go back to my Avata flying and dodging through the pier.
All right.
Well,
Have
enjoy.
fun. Stay safe.
Don't get too much of that sunshine, Rodney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, it's been so cloudy and rainy down here recently. The last
We feel
like
for you.
week and a half, it's been pretty horrid. So it's nice to have some nice weather for a change. So
I bet.
everybody have a good weekend.
You too, brother.
Like I
Take
said,
care.
we feel for you. We just can't quite.
You got
reach-
that right, Ronnie. You got that right.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call this one short.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
Rodney.
Okay.
You
I
call
gotta
it what
do
you
some-
like.
Good idea.
I
20
do
minutes
what?
to 2, so it's a good time to go.
I think so. Yep. Dennis, what'd you say?
You said you're going to call it short. I said you can call it whatever you like.
Oh, okay. Thanks. So, yeah, I got take the trash out and to the dump and do some cleaning and got to go to the church. We're having our first guest preacher.
Oh, great.
So,
So
you and
Pastor
you-
is gone, right?
huh?
Pastor Maxie is gone.
Yeah, Pastor Maxie is gone. They moved down to Roanoke, Virginia, and of course, I explained to you the story.
Yeah.
Melanie's father was taking a turn for the worst, and someone had to go down and take care of him. So,
Right.
and we certainly miss him,
Yeah, he was good.
and,
I like.
and her as well. I mean, they were both really good people. So,
Mhm.
and I know you've heard him preach, Dennis. So he was a good
Yeah, many
preacher.
times.
But we're our presbyter is what this guy is called. He's like our pastor's pastor. He's coming to preach today, so
Cool.
I've got to go there and do a live stream. He's got some slides, so I need to go and work out how to
Hey,
integrate the
Maxie.
slides into StreamYards. So
Yeah, Kim placed it here, wore his Rodney Bell shirt, so you let him on the show, but apparently that didn't happen.
I'm sorry, Ken. You should have said something.
Yeah.
So
All right. Thanks, Rodney.
you're welcome,
Yeah.
Dennis.
Hi, Dennis.
Talk to
Time
you.
to go to bed for me.
I'll try and watch your church program tomorrow, Dennis.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, the link's in. It's. I put it right here in the chat.
Yeah, I got it in the Cool Kids chat too. So, Dominic, Peter, you
Yeah.
guys have a good morning.
Yeah.
So at 9:30
Uh,
New York time and 11 a.m. New York time tomorrow, our choir will be putting on our Christmas kickoff. So should be
Okay.
fun. Hope you enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
See you all. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being in the chat. I do appreciate it. Mr. Skyfly, thank you so much. Good to see you in the streams. And you all have a great weekend.
Yeah.
If you're going out to fly safe and have a great time. Love you
Yeah.
guys. Bye now. See you later,
Bye-bye.
Dom.
Bye bye.